I'd like to call the Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order, June 17, 2014, at 4:30. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Here. Here.
Here.
Here. For the record, we have 4 present, 1 absent. Number 3, declaration conflict of interest. Okay, we'll move along to number 4, communications. Okay. Number 5, our minutes.
Mr. President, I make a motion to approve the minutes for the Hammond Redevelopment Commission minutes of May 8, 2004.
I second that.
Okay.
2014, I'm sorry.
2014.
I was just gonna.
Sorry,
That's okay.
2014.
All right, we have a motion for the minutes by Commissioner Myrick,
And I still second that.
a second by Soto Presley. Is there any corrections or additions or on the minutes? Since there is none, can we have a roll call, please, on the minutes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Minutes passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, number 6, approval of proposal for the concrete planter boxes along Homan Avenue in downtown Hammond.
Commissioners, you have in your packet from Myers Landscaping and Lawn Service a proposal. Myers, along with the Downtown Hammond Council, along with Ann Anderson, the marketing coordinator for the city of Hammond, have been working on a proposal to fill the planter boxes in downtown Hammond this year, which were installed at the time that we completed phase 1 of the Homan Avenue resurfacing project. As you can see in the proposal, it's for the installation of a certain ornamental grass called purple fountain, along with other different types of flowers I won't try to pronounce. And the total proposal is $2,520 for the cost of the planter boxes, $260 for the bed that's in front of Hammond Downtown, which is the large monument sign we have in downtown Hammond, and then it's $70 per hour for labor water truck per occurrence for the watering of the boxes. This would be paid for out of the downtown TIF.
Yeah, any beautification, to make downtown Hammond, I'm all in favor of.
Well, and in particular, we have an event coming to downtown, the Eat, Shop, and Rock. I believe it's June 28th, and it'd be nice to have this in place before we bring people into downtown Hammond.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of a proposal for the concrete planter boxes along Homan Avenue in downtown Hammond.
Second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Navejas, a second by Commissioner Soto Presley. Since there's no more discussion on it, can we have a roll call?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Number 7, determination of compliance for Hampton Inn, 2842 Carlson Drive and Oxbow Landing, located in the Gateways redevelopment area.
Commissioners, this is a project we've spoken about on several occasions. This is property that was purchased approximately 4 to 4.5 years ago by a group out of Indianapolis that proposed putting a hotel there, constructing a hotel. At the time, the economy took a turn, and since then it's been very difficult to get financing. Fast forward to today, the hotel developer has found the financing for his project, which we're very excited about. For your knowledge, the City Council has recently passed an approval for a tax abatement for the project. So I would think that shows that they are also in favor of this project. And today we have Brent Turenga to represent Nash Patel and his group to talk a little bit about the hotel project.
Good evening.
Welcome.
My name is Brent Turenga. I'm an attorney with the law firm Schwerd, Fryman, and Turenga. We're here representing Hammond Hospitality, LLC, which, as Mr. Talon mentioned, is Mr. Patel's organization, which has quite a bit of experience in these sort of projects. Mr. Patel has been involved with 20 other similar projects in Maryland, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and Texas. And we believe that this addition to the city of Hammond will be quite beneficial. This is at the, as you all know, this is at the southeast corner of Kennedy and 8094, where the old Kennedy Park Apartments used to be. The total cost of the project will be about $13 million, and we anticipate that it will create between 200 and 300 construction jobs over the next 12 months. 3 months prior to opening, or about 9 months from now, we expect there will be 30 permanent jobs created in anticipation of opening, and then 30 jobs throughout the life of the hotel. This is going to be a 117-room Hampton Inn Suites, the latest prototype that Hampton Inn is constructing. And we believe it's going to have quite the impact on the property taxes to the tune of $200,000. We're here this evening to determine compliance with the Oxbow, with the Gateways redevelopment area, of which Oxbow Landing is a part of, and be happy to try and answer any questions you have.
And Commissioners, if you have questions for Brent, that's good. And then when you're done with Mr. Turenga, Brian Poland, the city planner, will come up.
How many jobs did you say?
There will be between 200 and 300 jobs during construction. So that's over the next 12 months. And then after about 9 months from now, or about 3 months prior to opening, there will be 25 to 30 permanent jobs.
I'll just make a comment. I've stayed at the Hampton Inns several times, and it's a really nice hotel.
Thank you.
If there's no other questions, then we'll have our city planner, Brian Poland, come forward.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
As was stated, the project at 2842 Carlson Drive is in the Oxbow area, which is in the Gateways redevelopment area. In the plan, it also is referred to as being in the East Gateway sub-area. In looking at that plan, there's some good guidance as far as the land use plan that we're looking for as it relates to Oxbow, to develop it as a harmonious, unified commercial and retail development, as well as protect for the wetlands, and a lot of that's been accomplished. This is the second project recently that we've been approved for Oxbow, and that will help further start changing and transforming that area. In looking at the specific development of the project, it is proposed to be a 4-story building that is going to be at a height that is greater than what is allowed in the current C4 zoning classification. So they have begun their discussions with Don Novak to apply for the developmental variance, allow for the height change. That will go before the Board of Zoning Appeals at the end of July. So as it stands right now, and if you're reading my staff report, there is a technical correction because of a mistake I made, but the recommendation is that the Redevelopment Commission determined that the proposed Hampton Inn at 2842 Carlson Drive is in compliance with the Gateways redevelopment area, subject to receiving that developmental variance from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
So Brian, you don't think there'll be a problem with receiving the variance, do you?
Well, I could never speak for the Board of Zoning Appeals. It's, would be like me speaking for the Redevelopment Commission, so I avoid that. It is always the task of any applicant to prove their case, because for your edification, the Board of Zoning Appeals is a quasi-judicial body, so any application to that board is a little bit, has a higher standard, because the BZA is acting in a kind of in a court-like setting, not formally court, but in essence in a court. So the roundabout answer to your question is if they can prove their case to justify why they need to vary that, then I'm sure the Board of Zoning Appeals would approve it.
So what happens if they deny it?
That would potentially come back for the developer to redesign his project.
That was, okay, that was my question. Go ahead.
So in the event, let's say that they deny it and they have to go back to the drawing board per se, how much time do you think that would add to this project? The attorney can answer that if you like.
Yeah, that'd be up for them to respond to. I don't think we should be borrowing worst-case scenario. How's that for a bit of an answer?
I'm sorry, when he was up, I didn't think now just start,
No, it's a fair question, and I appreciate that, but let's just say I don't think that's really a concern.
Okay, that's enough. We're done on that.
Also, Commissioners, there are some hotels right across the street on Kennedy Avenue, similar size. So I think the developer has a compelling case to bring to BZA, so.
I think I would adjust that characterization that, every time the Board of Zoning Appeal looks at a variance, it looks at what is in the area. And if there is something that is in character versus out of character, and therefore looking at those adjacent developments is an important consideration or factor that they would have. If they were asking for a 9-story building, that would be out of character.
Okay, thank you, Brian. And with that, Mr. President, I make a motion to determine that the compliance for Hampton Inn, 2842 Carlson Drive, Oxbow Landing, located in the Gateways redevelopment area, subject to receiving the developmental variance from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Myrick, second by Commissioner Vejas. Is there any more discussion? Can we have a roll call then, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, move along to number 8, determination of compliance with Downtown Hammond Urban Renewal District, number 1 for World of Pentecost Ministries at 721 State Street.
Commissioners, I think we have somebody from the church, so if you want, I'll have him speak.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Charles Rodas. I'm the pastor of the church. We're currently located at 4807 Oak, across the street from the El Taco Riel. So you probably all know where we're located. We've been there a little more than 4 years. We're renting. And it's my wife, Tammy. She's our church secretary. And we intend to purchase the American Legion at 721 State to make it into a church. And we plan to make the improvements to the inside and outside as shown in the drawings. I'm sure if you've seen the drawings, but
Pastor, when we were just just talking before you walked in, my colleague and I, we were looking at all the different ministries that you provided. And I was very, very impressed.
Thank you.
I think it's a wonderful thing. I mean, I know it has nothing to do with your purchasing a building, but still, you know, I have to commend you and your wife and your ministry. I think this is an excellent thing to do.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Myrick's kind of said everything that I was thinking.
Commissioners, when you're done with questions, we can have Brian Poland, City Planner, come forward again.
Brian.
We don't really have any questions for the pastor. We're waiting for you, Brian. Hold on.
Okay. Again, this property is located in the downtown urban renewal area. In accordance with that plan, it's located in District D, which is one of the sub-areas of the plan. The plan for sub-area D was, there's a lot of references to recognizing that there are already existing institutions in that area, and that perhaps other institutions from elsewhere in the city could locate there. There's also discussions of pedestrian-oriented development, and making sure that, in essence, that the landscaping is appropriate. Those of you that are familiar with the building know it is the American Legion building. It is, in essence, an assembly use, and in a lot of respects, a church is an assembly use. You know, a large number of people coming to one location at one time for an event or services or whatever it is. So there's a lot of similarities in the uses. From a zoning standpoint, though, places of worship are conditional uses in several of our zoning districts. So one of the steps after this, assuming you agree with make the determination favorably, was they'd have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals to obtain a conditional use permit. And similar to your discussion before, there are 9 criteria for a conditional use permit that they have to meet. And they are in discussions with Don Melvac also about having that set up to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. One of the discussions that we were having before it reached this level is that there were some interior changes that had to be done to the building, and that's under the jurisdiction of the building commissioner, some internal handicap accessibility and some bathroom issues. From an outside standpoint, there was a lot of discussion about the parking lot, bringing it into compliance with the current parking lot regulations, the landscaping, and as well as the drainage. What's not in your packet is a subsequent change to the site plan. And from the staff standpoint, the revised site plan is an improvement. It answers some of the outstanding questions about handicap parking and the landscaping, much more than the plan you have that was in your packet. That being said, staff does recommend that the Redevelopment Commission determine that the proposed World of Pentecost Church at 721 State Street is compliant with the urban renewal plan for the downtown urban renewal urban renewal district number 1, subject to the resolution of the technical issues and the conditional use permit of from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Define conditional use.
In any zoning district, you have what they call permitted uses. Those are uses that can go there without any regulation. And then another set of uses called conditional uses that they only can go there on a limited basis if certain conditions are met. It's usually based on density, meaning there's too many of the same thing. Oftentimes they have different parking demands. So for example, a church can go in 4 of the 5 residential districts, 3 of the commercial districts. if you put a church in a residential district, that impact on that residential district is much greater, especially if single-family houses and a church locates there. You know, the parking on the street and all those types of impacts start to occur. So that's where any type of assembly use has similar situations. Like I said, whether it was a Legion Hall or a banquet facility, anytime you have a large number of people coming there, that can have a negative impact on a residential area or a commercial area because it's outside of what normally goes there. So.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, real quick, Pastor, how many people are in the congregation?
We have about 50 total. We have about 30 young people. We work a lot with youth, teenagers, and then about 20 adults.
So are you a growing ministry?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've been in Hammond 4 years.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for determination of compliance with the Downtown Hammond Urban Renewal District Number 1 for World of Pentecost Ministries at 721 State Street, subject to the resolution of the technical issues and the conditional use permit from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
I second that. Did you hear me? I second that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Navejas, a second by Commissioner Soto Presley. Is there any more discussion? Can we have a roll call then, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Good luck, Pastor.
Thank you very much.
Well, now you got God on your side. You don't need God.
Okay, number 9 are reports. Mr. Fieldtown.
Commissioners, I'm happy to announce that this Thursday at 4:00 p.m., we are going to have the first official groundbreaking at Oxbow Landing. This groundbreaking is for Buffalo Wild Wings, which is, I believe, 2942 Carlson Drive. I hope you're able to attend, since the Redevelopment Commission was a big part of this project, along with the City Council. I know we have Councilman Emerson here. We appreciate you coming. And I hope we have a great turnout. I know we've talked about this before, but from the inception of this project at River Park Apartments to where we are today, it's been a long time, and it's nice that we're actually getting development and things are going to begin. And I think within maybe 2 months or so, I don't want to say a full 2 months, but knowing that the Hammond has to go in front of the BZA, if they are able to get approval, I think they're going to begin right afterwards, which means we'll have 2 projects started within less than 30 days or so. So very exciting at Oxbow Landing. I had some great conversations recently with a couple other projects in the city. I know at one point somebody had asked me about the Charter Fitness project, and I think I'd mentioned that because due to financial reasons, there was a delay. However, I spoke to the owner today, and they are looking to potentially move forward. There's still some things that need to be worked out. And this, of course, is the old Stardust Bowling Alley building. So I will keep you posted on that as it keeps progressing. And then also we've had conversations with the group in North Hammond, the group that owns all the property around the Walmart. We call them the Luke Group or the Luke Oil Group, some of the same owners. And they also are progressing. So the reason that project had stalled for a while was also due to financing, and now they have a bank that has committed financing to their project. He is hoping to begin construction on the Indianapolis Boulevard relocation this September, and hoping to begin construction on the actual retail development in the spring of next year. So again, there are a few more hurdles that still have to be looked at, but at this point, positive news, and hopefully things keep progressing. Other than that, I'll be happy to take any questions you might have.
Mr. President, I'd like to take an opportunity to correct Mr. Talon.
He likes these opportunities, I've
It's
noticed.
actually the second one of the night. He said relocate the Indianapolis Boulevard. It's relocating Fifth Avenue as it intersects with Indianapolis Boulevard.
It's a Indianapolis Boulevard traffic relocation project, so they're going to be relocating 2 traffic lights there. So I do not accept his correction.
Nevertheless, that is positive news. Phil.
It is. We're very excited about it, and, you know, we've been working on this for quite a while. I believe the Redevelopment Commission approved a development agreement with this group probably over a year ago at this point. And, you know, again, it stalled, but it's always good to hear that banks are loosening up and actually able to commit dollars to positive projects that create jobs and also investment in the area. So it's whether it's Brian's idea of the project or mine, they're both positive, so.
I'd like to make a comment too on Munster Steel. It's moving along pretty good too. I was the other day. It's amazing how far that building has come along.
They're getting close to completion, so I don't know the exact dates, but I drove over there last week myself, Commissioner Hoppridge, and they moved very quickly. They did a good job. And, you know, we also have, there's a lot of groups that are looking at the remaining 6 or 7 acres that are just west of Munster Steel. So we're still getting inquiries about that property. And then there's other acreage around Munster Steel that the city of Hammond does not own that potentially could be developable in the future. So we'll keep you posted if we hear anything on that.
Okay. If there's nothing more for Mr. Talon, Ms. Miller?
We're getting closer and closer to the date when our campers come in for our Hammers for Hearts program. This week, some of the individuals from the Work Camp Foundation has come in to make sure that all the homeowners receive their paint and the lumber that they need for the minor repairs that's going to be done to the homes. We currently have 34 homes within our city, and we're anticipating about 280 campers to be here on next Sunday. So that's going to be a very busy but exciting time for us. I'll definitely get you a schedule of the week, so maybe you can come by or even stop by some of the homeowners' homes to see the progress. The second thing is I passed out a flyer from the Salvation Army, and they have a senior program. It's entitled 2 Are Better Than 1, and it's a senior citizens program, ages 62 and above, and they're going to be going to individual homes in the city of Hammond. One of the ministers in our city, he actually works there, and he contacted me about the program. This is the first time they'll have this type of program in the city, but he said that it's been very beneficial in Illinois. And they're going to do some minor home repairs, some cleaning and laundry, just some minor things for elderly people. So I'm very excited about that, and that's all that I have.
That's wonderful news. I'm very glad to hear they do good things, Salvation Army.
I have one question for you, Ms. Miller. I wanted to stop by for lunch on that senior picnic you had. Could you just comment on that a little bit?
The senior picnic took place, I believe it was a couple weeks ago now. Even though it rained, we had a nice turnout. There was a band, and we had different social service agencies to come out and pass out some of their individual information. We had about, I would say about 50 seniors. It was supposed to be an outside picnic. However, the rain did move us inside into the recreation center. So we had a good time that day.
Good to hear it.
That's the nice thing about that building there too. So rain or shine, you can move inside. All right, thank you, Ms. Miller. I guess we'll move to number 10, our bills.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for May 20th through June 11th of 2014. Register of claims number R50425, through R 50521.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Soto Presley, and a second by Commissioner Navejas. Is there any discussion on these bills? Since there is none, can we have a roll call then, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Bills pass 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, we're going to move to number 11, new and unfinished business.
Commissioners, we have a couple items today. One is every year we sign an annual financial information disclosure form on behalf of the Redevelopment Commission, along with the Hammond Redevelopment Authority, which has already signed the form, and the Hammond Port Authority. This is annual information, disclosure of annual information with counterparty of New York Trust, the Bank of New York Trust Company, that is required to be provided pursuant to Section 4A2 of the agreement. So I just need a motion to approve the signature on the annual financial information disclosure.
I make a motion to approve the signature on the annual financial signature disclosure.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. If there's no discussion, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent.
Thank you, Commissioners.
You're welcome.
Mr. President, the second item, you'll remember last week or last meeting, 2 weeks ago, you approved an amendment to the purchase agreement on the AMC Hammond Real Estate, which is the BW3 project. The amendment called for the total proceeds of the sale of real estate, which is about $420,000, give or take. That $200,000 of that would be held, and if the developer met certain standards, that it might be reimbursed depending on how much they spent and how much they could prove they spent and so forth. In talking to your controller this afternoon, I'm pleased to report the project did close, as evidenced by your opening tomorrow, or on Thursday, but she needs you to approve a fund, which we'll call the AMC Hammond escrow account, so that she can segregate $200,000, which may or may not be used, into a separate fund for her accounting purposes. So all I'm really looking for, you've already approved this, is a motion to authorize your controller to segregate a separate fund for purposes of the $200,000 escrow.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Thank you, Mr. Westland. Number 12, public comment. You have 3 minutes if anybody would like to come up and speak.
Hello, Commissioners and Mr. President. Bill Emerson, 4th District City Council. I just wanted to, in spite of what someone just told me, I didn't know that the church was going to be on the agenda. The reason I'm here is because I can. As some of you may know, I work for the school city, so I'm not avoiding the redevelopment meeting. So I can now because summer's here. I'm trying to meet some meetings that the city has that I haven't been able to. But I would like to say for the 4th District, I'm really pleased to see the bike bridges that look like they're 99% complete. And I entered the informal poll on Facebook, Go Hammond, thinking of a name for the Columbia Avenue and Southeastern Bridge, and my suggestion was help keep Hammond clean. And my wife gave me a look that only I understand, like, that's the best you can do. You know, a master's degree, you're out of city council, help keep Hammond clean. So I said, okay, how about elect Bill Emerson? She said no. So I don't know who judges this, but I hope, I know the first one on Lyman and 165th is going to say welcome to Hammond. I like that. But I'm really excited about these bridges. So I guess another question on the opposite side, 165th and Jefferson is a funeral home that's been vacant for conservatively 3 years. And I don't know if I should be going to you all with it or just maybe going to code. I mean, I've told him about it. Frequently needs cut and clean and all that. And I just don't know what the status of that place is. There's an apartment upstairs, but it's, the neighbors have told me that, you know, the animals, critters are going upstairs in the apartment and broken windows and all that. So I don't know if it's beyond your scope of dealing with it now. Maybe it's just a matter of the banks, the real estate, and like a lot of foreclosed homes. But it's been vacant for a long time. So I just thought I'd mention that. But I love the bike bridges.
Thank you, Councilman.
I could possibly answer some of that for you. I'm a real estate agent, I deal with REO properties. Until someone actually owns it, while it's in the court system, you cannot touch it. So let's say that's a Chase property and they're going through the process, they cannot touch that property. They have to wait till they take possession to do anything. So the city should probably just do their cuts and lien it against the property, and eventually, when it goes on the market, someone will pay those liens. And I know this because I do it all the time. I pay liens all the time to get property. So.
Okay, I mean, the church on the opposite corner, they keep the place clean, and I think they've got a fairly good congregation, and I don't know, but I bet they love to have it for parking. I mean, they've never stated anything to me about it, but they seem to take good care of the church. It used to be a Methodist church, and so anyway, I don't know. I guess that's just the way it is. We'll have to wait till.
Because normally when I take possession of a property, that's the first thing I hear. Why did the bank wait so long? You know, but we had to wait because they ain't owned it yet.
Yeah, we have quite a few homes, and I hope we have less like the same situation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.